Good morning, guys. How's everything? Yeah, welcome to my YouTube channel, depending on your time factor. So, today I'm going to go straight to the point by answering some of the questions that some jambers really or actually experience during their jam exams. Sorry, you see me moving the screen up and down because I'm trying to make sure that I conserve some. If I should stop moving the screen will turn off and the recording will stop. So I actually apologize for that. So let's go to the first question. And these are the questions for those people that wrote jam on the 26th of April 2025. Morning section 6:30. So these are their biology questions. As you can see, they have about 37 questions. So and we are going to answer all the questions. So the question one, sorry I did not provide the options, but though we are able to the reason why I don't provide some of the options that the students actually recall is because I don't want just someone to just cram the answers like that. I want us to actually understand the question so that no matter how they twist it, you can actually skate through. So the first question was a diagram was given and was asked to identify that dash. So the diagram is actually the diagram of a virus. So let's move to the second question. So like in the test of starch in a leaf, all those experiments to test whether the presence of chlorophyll, CO2, but this one they say in the test of starch in a leaf, an alcohol is added in the leaf so as to what? I think these questions it also came out in 2025 mock questions if I'm not mistaken, because some of my friends that actually wrote the exams, they say they encountered the questions. So the main reason why an alcohol is added to a boiled leaf is because the alcohol serves as a decolorizer. It serves as a decolorizing agent. It decolorizes the leaf. So I think they said option C is the correct. I think the decolorizing stuff came out, I think, as option C in the CBT question. So let's go to the third question. This afforestation helps to balance dash and dash. So the main reason why we trees are planted, and trees they are very important because it helps to balance the oxygen and the carbon content through, I think there are some processes through combustion, through photosynthesis, through respiration and other things. So it helps in sorry I made mention of combustion. It helps afforestation, like there's exchange of gas between the plants and the animals, which include we humans also. So the main element that is balanced during this exchange is carbon and oxygen. So anytime you see it, the answer just go for carbon and O2. At times they will just give you carbon and then the other element is C, because jam are tricky at times. So the fourth question is, which of the following is a trace element? So according to this candidate that you got the question from, he said that this is in option A. Copper is in option A. So copper is the answer. I think this question is also in past question. So it's also a past question. So question 5, let's go to question 5. I'm doing this so that we will save time, so that I will not just come and be talking, but the reason why I'm just summarizing is so that we will be able to get the main point. So the fifth one is the tropical rainforest is found in which of the following? I think this biome normally used to come out in every exam. So they brought out 3 states in each option. Option A 3 states, option B 3 states, option C 3 states. But the candidate that gave us this question, that tell us his question, this particular question, said that option B, C and D, there's northern states. I know northern states, I think there's middle belt, that is there's Kogi, there's Kwara. If you say anything Kogi, Kwara, you say any state within the northern state, so that means states within the middle belt, let me say the north central and also the north in particular, they are from Sahel, Savannah and desert. So but the rainforests are from the west and the east. So the option A, I think there's Edo state, there is which states? I think there are 3 states which are from the south. So that makes it the correct option. So let's go to option 5. They say camel is found in which of the following regions? So they say option A, the rainforest, B, this. So we know that the camel is normally found in the desert, but at times they will not write desert, because this student that gave us this question also said that the option that he saw was arid. So arid is the best option. You can even check it, Google it, and yeah. So now the seventh question was that the camel leg is dash. So they are trying to ask, like, how can you be able to describe the leg of a camel? You know, if you check vividly, though this candidate said that he failed this question, but the leg of a camel is broad and thick. If you can check very well, the foot, like let me say, the leg is broad and thick. So the best option is option C. So number 8, they say nitrogen is added to the soil by farmers by what method? I think this candidate told us that it is his 4th question, or is it 5th question, sir? So the main reason why, like the main process by which nitrogen is added to the soil by farmers is through nitrogen fixation. That's the best option. So, and this number 9 question is very tricky. I don't know how JAMB was able to, like, you know, at times that's why I normally advise students that you really need to read deep, because some of the questions that JAMB normally used to set, they are just questions that, as you see it as simple, but if you don't think twice, you just get confused. So they say the hypogeneous flower is also known as dash. Hypogeneous, that means if they say hypogeneous ovary, that means hypo, that means below. That means the other floral parts are below it. If the other floral parts are below it, so that means it is superior to this other floral parts, which make it a superior ovary or superior flower. So hypogeneous flower is best known as the superior ovary, because I think they asked, based on what this kind of said, is that they asked something that is hypogeneous ovary. So if it's hypogeneous ovary, that's the best option. Say the 10th question, they say that this question also was tricky, because they said that the collective name for the main part of a flower is called what? Because the candidate said that he saw anther, and he also saw androecium, he also saw stigma, he also saw stamen, but the collective name is not anther. The best option is option, that means I don't know the option here, but this is androecium. You can even check your textbooks. The collective name for the male part of the flower is not anther, but the androecium, because the androecium consists of the stamen, the anther, the filament, and the rest. So number 11, they say that the flower that opens and closes undergoes what movement? Like, one thing that even made me to understand all this, anything as with nasic, it's just anything open and close. Anything open and close. If it is like opening and closing of a leaf, opening and closing of any flower, like the process is known as nastic movement. So let's go to question 12. They say blood group B can donate blood to blood group. One that I want you guys to know is that blood group B cannot donate blood to only B, but you know that AB is also a universal recipient. So B can also donate blood group to blood group B, and can also donate blood group to blood group AB. So the answer is B and AB. So same thing applies to option, like same thing applies to blood group A. A can donate blood only to blood group A and blood group AB. So let's move to the next question. Which of the following can donate blood group to other group? We all know this question. Blood group O are also known as the universal donors. So since they are the universal donors, that means they can, that's question 13. Universal donors, which are blood group O, they can donate blood group to any other blood group, which makes it the right option. So the question 14, they say Lamarck's theory is found in dash. I think the option that was given according to this candidate, the candidate that gave this question, say that there's short neck of giraffe, short leg of giraffe, long neck of giraffe. So the best option that suits this is the long neck of giraffe. and you can find this like in the theory of evolution. So let's go to question 15. A female child born is fertilized by what type of chromosome of the male? You all know that the male chromosome have X, Y. So if the Y fertilizes and the female also have X. So if the X chromosome of the male fertilizes the X of the female, that means a female child will be born. But if the Y fertilizes the X, that means a male child will be born. So the best option is option A. Or let me say the best option is X chromosome. So that's the reason why the female child born was actually born, because she was fertilized by the X chromosome. So a question was given also. Let's go to question 16. Between XS and XY, which gives, they just gave a crossing, that a question that XS and XY chromosome gives how many DC? Is it 2XS or 2XY, or 1XS or 1XY? This one is just simple, so no need of even wasting much time on it. So question 17, they say asexual reproduction in yeast is by A. We all know this question, so no need of wasting much time. So the asexual reproduction in yeast is by budding. So, and question 18, they tricked like the candidates that wrote this particular exam, because this question the question 18 is in past questions, but how they arrange was that the major cause of variation is, like in, I think it was in 2000, if not 2008, 2009 question. The major cause of variation is A, mating, B, so C, asexual reproduction, E. So the main reason, you all know that they may not, even if you don't say asexual, like sexual reproduction, but mating is a type, is also known as sexual reproduction, and it's the main reason why we have variation. The main reason is not breeding, because this kind they say that it's so breeding in the option. I think as option D, but the best option that causes the best reason why we have vast variations because of mating, because it's the common one. You guys can check the past question. Also on the question 19, a diagram of a kidney and a part was labeled and was asked to describe which part. So the part that the candidate, like the part that they were asked to describe was the renal vein. So let's go to option 20. Option 20, they say an open circulatory system is found in, though this kind they say that all the options undergoes closed circulatory system, including earthworm. But at times in JAMB you cannot just leave questions like that. You have to choose like the one that is odd, like the odd question. So like most of the other options are mammals, but no, earthworm is less advanced, so they kind of have to go with earthworm. So, but we all know that the main organisms that undergo open, like that have open circulatory system, they are the arthropods and the molluscites. So, but because the questions we don't have any DC, we just have to go with the earthworm. But if you see in any other option, if you see arthropods or molluscite, you should just go for them. So let's go to the other question 21. They say the raising and lowering of the head of agama lizard under the sun. This question is tricky. If you did not see, the main reason why the head of the agama lizard, like the process, the raising and lowering of the head, is known as head hopping or push-ups. But during basking, it doesn't move its head up. Though there are some tests that say that, or some sites that say that it normally happens. Like the agama can raise and lower its head under the sun during basking, but it's rare. But during that basket, it normally stays static. It doesn't move. So the process left to me, if there's head hopping or push up, you should just go for it. But if there's no head head up in or push up in the option. Anytime I encounter this question, just go for basking. And this question 22, they said counter shading is widely exhibited in that. We all know that fish are the main. I think this question is also in past question, but they also saw the candidate arose on the 26 biology students. They saw this question, so the best option is option fish. That means fish is the organism that undergoes counter shading. So the next question is vestigial organ is what? They listed some organs, but they say appendix is also in the question. So appendix is, we all know that appendix is a vesical organ, and also there's nictitating membrane in the, I think is in the human face. I couldn't recall, can't recall, sorry. So if there's nictitating membrane, so that's the best option. Let me not talk much. So option 24, they said the sensitive part of the eye is called what? So we all know that the sensitive part of the eye, the part of the eye that is very sensitive to light, is the retina, and it has two cells, rod and cones. One is sensitive to dim light, one is sensitive to bright light. But I will not talk much, since we are just here to answer the questions and to get the basic knowledge. So long-sightedness correction is by, we all know that short-sightedness is corrected by concave lens, while the short-sightedness is corrected by long-sightedness is corrected by convex, short-sightedness by concave lens, while the bifocal lens like presbyopia is corrected by bifocal lens. So the one that I just mentioned by presbyopia was asked in the mock. So just in case you see this question anytime, just make sure that you choose the appropriate answers. So the question 2, the fragmentation is a form of asexual reproduction in, we all know this one. The answer is Pyrogyra. So I think let's go to question 27. They say which of the following possesses rhizole? The answer, they say the candidate that gave us this question said that he saw algae, there's fan, there's gymnosperms, there's angiosperm. But the best option was the fan. The fan possesses the rhizole, so that's the option. So the question 28, the first plants to ever evolve or colonize the land. This question is actually tricky because if you check some sources will tell you that it is the bryophyte, but if you check based on the ecological succession, the primary and secondary succession, the first set of plants that colonize the land is the algae. So left to me, algae is the best option because we go with our textbooks. So question 29, plants mainly compete for what? So we all know that the main thing that the plant competes for is light, because they need it to manufacture food, they need it for a lot of metabolic process. So the best option is light reception. So this candidate that gave us this question said that this question was, I think this is question A, option A. So light reception is the best. Then question 30, competitions involving different species is called what? One thing that we should know is that they should say anything like inter means different. I want to take note of this. Inter means different, but intra means the same. So if they say that anything that they say competition involving different species, you need to hear of inter-house competition. So if they say inter-house, that means different houses. But if they say intra, it's normally inter-house competition. So inter-house is different. But if there's intra-house, that means the same house. So competitions, let's put it also in competition. Competition involving different species also called, the best option is interspecific competition. So that's the best option. So option 31, the candidate that gave us this question said that the vegetation that is considered, that is found or that is characterized by low rainfall, like sparse vegetation, like very few vegetation and very hot temperature is known as, so and with scarcity of trees. So the best option is desert, which is option 31, question 31. Then question 32, the candidate does that They was asked this question that insects are collected by what instrument? So he luckily chose potter's net, and also like the question we checked, potter's net is the correct option for this. So let's go to the question 33. The question 33 was asked that the food moves to the wall of the intestine by what process? So the movement of food after digestion, the food moves to the wall of the intestine by absorption, not assimilation. So absorption is the movement of food into the wall of the intestine, but utilization of the food inside the wall of the intestine, that is what is called assimilation. So don't get it confused. The question, the correct option is absorption. So question 34, they said the transparency of water is measured using what? We all know that transparency is also turbidity. So that's why I said that jamb are very tricky at times. They can change the language at times so as to confuse you. So the transparency of water is measured using a circuit disc. So that's the best answer. So question 35, when option A mixes with option B, so when blood A mixes with blood B, what happens? So we know that the main process that happens is agglutination. Agglutination happens when there is a contrasting antigen and contrasting antibodies. So that means if they are dissimilar, that means agglutination agglutination is most likely to occur. So that's the best option. So let's go to option 36. Which of the following is a sex-linked trait? Answer A, hemophilia. B, what have you. So the best option is that we know bad head is also a sex-linked trait. Hemophilia is also a sex-linked trait. But bad was not giving the question the option, so hemophilia was given. So hemophilia is the best option for it. And number 37, they said the energy in food is what type of energy? They gave option according to this kind. They gave kinetic, potential, mechanical, then they gave chemical. But one thing, the best energy, the type of energy that's present in food is chemical energy. The best energy, the energy that is obtained in food is a chemical energy. So that is, and that is at because so I think that's all the questions that we're able to gather for those people that wrote in the morning. And if you guys are in that, you guys can ask any of them that answered the biology questions, and you guys will confirm that all these questions actually came out. So don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more updates. And in our next video, we are going to upload the chemistry questions. We have also 37 chemistry questions for those that wrote jamb early in the morning. So you guys should help us subscribe so that you guys will get notified anytime we post a new video. Thank you. Remain blessed.